Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another brand new video. I hope you guys are all doing well. So this morning, you guys can clearly see Bitcoin is now up at $30,000. Just yesterday, we saw Bitcoin up $28,000. Yesterday, Bitcoin was absolutely pumping up to the upside, and not just Bitcoin, but of course the entire cryptocurrency market. Altcoins were in fact pumping as well. And guess what? Today, that pump continues because you guys can clearly see right now, Bitcoin is now above $30,000. Absolutely amazing to see. Okay, that pump did not just stop there, right? We saw yesterday, Bitcoin pump at 28K. It didn't stop just there. Bitcoin kept on going up. So obviously there's a lot of heavy buying going on right now. There's obviously a lot of FOMO. You guys can clearly see, right, that this uptrend, you guys can just clearly see it. This pump that we have in fact been seeing, okay, since yesterday pretty much, has been absolutely amazing. Okay, obviously there's a lot of FOMO. Someone out there right now is obviously buying Bitcoin. And actually, right, I actually saw Bitcoin pump all the way up to $30,800. Okay, it went over $30,000 at one point, right? Over $30,500. So I actually saw that earlier this morning, right? I wanted to make a video when I saw Bitcoin pumping. Okay, I just really wanted to make a video, and my phone was absolutely exploding with all the notifications. Okay, on Bitcoin pumping and price targets, right? So I really wanted to make a video yesterday, right? Actually earlier this morning. It was literally at 2 a.m. I posted this at 2 a.m. in the morning, right? And I really wanted to make a video, but I was just so tired. I just couldn't. Okay. So it was a really, really good time, right? And at that time, Bitcoin was at 30.6. Okay. So obviously right now, Bitcoin is in fact having some slight corrections, but still it's still holding up very well, right? It's still above $30,000. Okay. Now, if you guys look here at the cryptocurrency market, is looking pretty good. The global crypto market cap has gone up massively. It's right now currently at 1.17 trillion, and overall today the market's up 4.7%, right? Over 4%. You guys can see, Bitcoin is up 5%, over 5, pretty much 6% for the past 24 hours. But if you look at 7 days for the past 7 days for the past week for Bitcoin, it's up 19%, right? And this is absolutely amazing to see, guys. And you guys have to understand, right? You guys have to understand, for all the altcoins out there, right? The people that don't really invest into Bitcoin, and all the people out there that invest into Bitcoin, sometimes, okay, it's good to invest into Bitcoin. You shouldn't skip Bitcoin, right? We know that, okay? The dominance for Bitcoin, okay, you guys can clearly see that 49.7%. Ethereum has 19.4%, right? So majority of the time, we always see Bitcoin outperform these altcoins, right? That's why it's very, very important for Bitcoin, right? So it's very important for you guys to have some Bitcoin in your portfolio. You know what I mean? It really is, right? I understand, guys. Most people out there, they don't really invest into Bitcoin because the price is too high. I understand that, right? You want to make that quick money. You want to make that quick buck with altcoins because the price is lower, right? I understand that, right? And yes, you're right. Sometimes altcoins, they move more than Bitcoin, but majority of the time, Bitcoin outperforms. Okay, I want to say always, but majority of the time, it outperforms altcoins, right? And you guys clearly see that, right? For the past 7 days, Bitcoin is up over 19%. Ethereum, okay, 14%, right? BNB, 4%, XRP, 3%, Cardano, 9%, Solana, 19%, right? Solana, yes, has been pumping, right? Litecoin, 60%, 8%, right? For Polygon. But you guys get the gesture, you know what I mean? Like Bitcoin, its dominance is up there. You know what I mean? It really is, right? So yes, sometimes Bitcoin does in fact pump more than altcoins, right? So that clearly just shows you guys that right there. Bitcoin has been absolutely pumping. There's obviously a lot of FOMO. Someone out there, right, is obviously buying a whole bunch of Bitcoin. But you guys can clearly see Bitcoin Cash is up over 20%, 23% for Bitcoin Cash, and 33% for the past week for Bitcoin Cash. Absolutely amazing to see. It's obviously still another green day, just like what we saw yesterday. Okay, it was in fact a green day yesterday, and today the pump still continues on for Bitcoin and crypto, right? So this is it, guys. This is it for Bitcoin and crypto. This is the moment that I've been talking about for a very, very long time. If you guys haven't seen my videos, right, for the past few days, even for the past few weeks, I told you guys to ignore the FUD and all the negative news. We know literally like 2 weeks ago, there was a lot of FUD, there was a lot of negative news. I told you guys to ignore all the nonsense, all the noise, ignore it. Bitcoin and crypto will recover. And here it is, right? Here it is, right? We are in fact seeing Bitcoin pump and crypto, right? In general, right? Altcoins are pumping and recovering. I told you guys this many, many times. They want to make you scared. They want to make you, spooked out and panic sell. So that way you can get out and they buy in, right? There's a lot of retail investors and obviously global investors that want to, get into Bitcoin at a cheap price, right? So just think about that. Okay, a lot of people are in fact secretly buying Bitcoin. Okay. So Bitcoin is pumping, guys. Okay, Bitcoin is pumping. Okay, and I want to show you guys a fair few charts in this video. So $30,000. We already know Bitcoin already hit $30,000. We know Bitcoin has in fact been forming this downtrend, right? We all know that, and it finally broke out of it, right? And guess what, guys? It's been quite some time since we have seen Bitcoin reach $30,000, right? Since the last time Bitcoin touched 30K was pretty much in April, right? That was, no, not April. Actually in May, right? So the last time we actually seen Bitcoin touch $30,000, okay, was in fact in May, right? So it's been, a fair few months, okay, a fair few weeks ever since we have seen, Bitcoin touch $30,000. So finally, Bitcoin is well above $30,000 right now. It's currently at $30,100. So that's absolutely amazing to see for Bitcoin, and it is in fact breaking out from this, this downtrend that we have in fact been seeing for the past few weeks. Right, a lot of people thought, it was going to break down even more and break the, support level, but no. Okay, it broke the resistance line, and here we are. Bitcoin is at 30K. Absolutely amazing to see, right? And for all the people out there that were in fact saying, Bitcoin's going to drop back down to, $20,000 and lower, I know you're crying right now because most likely you were timing the market, right, to get into Bitcoin back down when it was below $20,000. I told you guys this many times, right? You can even watch back on my videos. I told you guys plenty of times, and I kept repeating this, right? I kept on repeating it because I just knew this wasn't going to happen for Bitcoin. We will never see Bitcoin drop below $20,000 ever again, meaning we'll never see Bitcoin at 20K. We'll never see Bitcoin at 19K, 18K, 17, 16, 15K, its previous lows back last November. We will never see Bitcoin at those previous lows ever again. It's all ups from here. We know the Bitcoin halving is obviously right around the corner, okay, and that's why I just knew, right? Even looking at the pattern, okay, because we have already hit bottom. You guys understand, right? Back last November and December, we saw Bitcoin not really moving or stuck at this level of pretty much $16,000, right? It wasn't moving at all, okay? And a lot of people thought Bitcoin would drop further down to, $14,000, $13,000, $10,000, even lower than 10K, which is absolutely crazy. But no, we saw Bitcoin pump, okay? So this is just an example, guys, of, you should never really time the market. Always DCA. And I'm just really glad that personally I got into Bitcoin, right? I bought more Bitcoin. I stacked more Bitcoin, okay, when it was at $15,000. When I saw Bitcoin below 16K, okay, at that very moment, I bought in, okay, and I have proof, okay. I made a video 7 months ago back in November, and the video is titled, I'm going all in on Bitcoin. And in that video, you guys can clearly see I invested a large amount of my money into Bitcoin. I believe I invested almost $20,000 into Bitcoin at that very moment when I saw Bitcoin below 16K. And guess what? Like, I legit caught the bottom. You know what I mean? I legit caught the bottom, and I got in when Bitcoin was at $15,000. You know what I mean? So I'm just really glad that I bought a large amount of Bitcoin at that time, at that very, very moment, right? I'm blessed for sure. But you guys can clearly see, okay, 25.3, was in fact, the support level. Okay, and we saw Bitcoin pump up to the upside. So for all the people out there that said, we're gonna see Bitcoin drop all the way down to $20,000, which is all the way down here, you guys clearly see it's not gonna happen, right? It's not gonna happen. Okay, so it's all ups from here. I've been telling you guys that many, many times, and the next target is in fact $38,000. So finally, right, back last in March, okay, we had a resistance break after 6 months, right? We saw Bitcoin break above this resistance line, right? We haven't seen Bitcoin break above this resistance line for 6 months. Okay, you guys clearly see, and it finally broke out of it, which is absolutely amazing to see. Finally, right? Finally, and this would have been a great time to DCA. Like this 6 months time period would have been a perfect time to accumulate Bitcoin because it was below $26,000, right? So that would have been a great time to DCA into Bitcoin. And that's why I told you guys when we saw Bitcoin at 25, 26, 27, especially 28, I've been telling guys to DCA, right? That would have been a perfect time to start buying Bitcoin. It still is, even if Bitcoin's at $30,000 right now and it's pumping, right? It still is a great buy right now, in my opinion, right? It really is. And you guys can clearly see Bitcoin is in fact pumping. As I'm filming this video, it's coming out 30.2, almost 30.3. So we will see where Bitcoin heads in this video. But yes, we hit bottom right here, okay, and finally Bitcoin broke above this resistance line back in March. Okay, we had a pullback as well. We also had another pullback just recently. We know that, right? Bitcoin was in fact forming this downtrend just like what it did back in March. Okay, and then obviously the resistance line, okay, it is in fact breaking out of it after 2 months. Okay, so that is amazing, right? And it's all ups from here, guys. We're gonna see another leg up for Bitcoin, so be excited for that. So yes, like I mentioned, okay, this is not a short squeeze, but someone, okay, is just buying Bitcoin, a lot of Bitcoin. You guys can clearly see that, right? The Bitcoin price has been rising like crazy. So obviously someone out there is buying a lot of Bitcoin. There's obviously a lot of FOMO going on right now. Clearly, right? And this is why we are in fact seeing Bitcoin pump this much, right? For the past few hours. And it's beautiful. I must say, it is absolutely amazing to see. Okay, and I really do believe we will in fact see Bitcoin continue pump up to the upside. Okay, I would not be surprised if we see Bitcoin, pump back up to, around $31,000 or even 32, in a matter of hours or maybe in the next few days, right? So, yeah, someone out there is buying a whole bunch of Bitcoin, guys. Okay, they really are. Okay, and this just shows you guys, right, for all the people that panicked, a couple of weeks ago with all the FUD and negative news surrounding crypto space, okay, they wanted to make you panicked. Okay, so that way you can panic sell and they can buy in at a cheaper price, right? So I told you guys to ignore the news, okay, ignore the nonsense, ignore the FUD, all that, right? Ignore the noise. You're going to be okay. And Bitcoin will recover. And that's exactly what Bitcoin is doing right now. And of course, altcoins. So yes, that's that, guys, right? Someone is buying a whole bunch of Bitcoin. That's why Bitcoin is in fact pumping. Now, check this out, right? Bitcoin, okay, this is the all-time chart. And you guys can clearly see that Bitcoin is always throughout the years, okay, every single time we have a Bitcoin halving, okay, that's where Bitcoin always tends to reach a new all-time high. Once the halving happens, give it a few weeks, give it a few months, okay, and then we're going to see Bitcoin slowly pump up like crazy, okay, and it's going to have a parabolic pump, and that's where Bitcoin's going to really pump up to the upside, have another leg up, and it's going to reach a new all-time high. And that's exactly what's going to happen in the year 2024 and 2025. We know the halving is about to happen in less than 1 year from now. So we all should be very excited for that, right? I'm telling you guys, okay, to all my Bitcoin holders out there, okay, we are good, right? We are good. Okay, it's looking pretty good for Bitcoin. Okay, you guys can clearly see this is pretty much the entire chart for Bitcoin, and it's always an uptrend. You guys can just clearly see that. So yes, we know last year in 2022 it dropped, but this drop clearly it doesn't mean anything, right? You guys clearly see that. It's like it looks fine, you know what I mean? At least Bitcoin's not all the way down here, back down at like $5,000, you know what I mean? Because it would have been all the way down here, right? But clearly, okay, it's looking pretty good for Bitcoin. You know what I mean? It really is. So when in doubt, guys, you really just gotta zoom out, right? You really just gotta zoom out. Yes, short term, Bitcoin's really volatile. It's a really volatile asset. Even the crypto market's really volatile. I understand that. But long term, it's always shooting up, especially Bitcoin, right? You guys can clearly see that. It's always shooting up. It's like an uptrend. It's like a downtrend, but it's an uptrend, right? I don't know if that makes sense, but you guys can just clearly see it in the charts. Okay, so it's looking amazing for Bitcoin. And what's looking more amazing is the Bitcoin monthly returns. Yesterday, okay, for June, we actually saw this up 4%. Let me repeat that, 4%. This was up 4%, right? Today, it's now up over 10%, almost 11% for June. And I'm just very glad that this month in June, we are in fact seeing Bitcoin pump for a change, because we know in previous years, okay, June is usually not a great month for Bitcoin. We can see it down 37% last year, 2021, pretty much 6%, over 5%, and 2020, it was down 3%. So it's just great to see for a change that June, okay, Bitcoin is in fact performing very, very well, okay? Absolutely amazing. And you guys can clearly see Ethereum is slightly pumping up as well, 0.25%. Not much movements, but at least it's not in the reds no more. But for Bitcoin, it's up over 10%. So let's see if this pump will continue. Let's see if Bitcoin can, continue to hold this price at $30,000. We will see, but so far it's looking very, very good for Bitcoin. Okay, and I think this pump will potentially continue up to the upside. Okay, we will see, right? But it's looking pretty good. Okay, and the Feed and Greed Index has gone up more. Okay, we are now officially in the greens. Yesterday we were in fact at 59, slightly in the greens. Okay, but right now we are fully in the greens, and we are in greed mode once again. Okay, which is great. It's obviously gone up more because Bitcoin is going up, right? So this is absolutely amazing to see. Seems like more people are in fact becoming greedy. There's obviously a lot of FOMO, and people are in fact starting to buy into Bitcoin because they're in fact seeing this, these green candles. A lot of people out there for some reason like to chase green candles, and that's fine. You know what I mean? It's still not a bad time to, get into Bitcoin, because if we really zoom out, if we go to the weekly time frame, you guys can clearly see, yes, Bitcoin is pumping, but clearly it's nowhere near its previous all-time highs, right? Which was $69,000 back last November in 2021. So it's still a great time to get into Bitcoin, honestly. So if you film it in now, it's fine. We're still in the accumulation stage. I've been telling you guys many times, we're still in the buy area. So there's nothing wrong with FOMOing in right now, in my opinion, right? Because Bitcoin is still cheap. It really is, honestly. But anyways, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end this video here. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. More videos will in fact be coming your way, so stay tuned for that. And I'll catch you guys all in my next video. Have a blessed day, guys.